So, lads, we thought that this season was going to be a lot less drama. And I mean this when I say this. The Christine Brennan book is going to be, it's going to be absolute cinema. Well, I don't know. Absolute, what is the press equivalent of cinema? Absolute, sitting in the most comfortable chair, legs crossed, cup of tea in one hand, nothing to do on a Sunday morning, opening up a newspaper. Is that the equivalent of absolute cinema for that? I don't know. But Dijonai Carrington, this is mental. This situation is mental. If you guys agree, subscribe. We are so close to 52.7k. We are 34 subscribers away. If we can hit that by the end of the day, that'd be absolutely insane, lads. But anyway, we got to talk about it. We have got to talk about it here because it's a big one. So this is from a CNN, an article from CNN. This is the post, and said, on behalf of the 144, in a week that was dedicated to celebrating, amplifying, whatever, for their hard work, exceptional performances, we're not going to distract from their success. They distracted from the success because, by the way, they ignored all of those players because they wanted to. And to unprofessional media members like Christine Brennan, you're not fooling anyone. The so-called interview in the name of journalism and blatant attempt to bait a professional athlete into participating in narratives false and designed to fuel racist, homophobic, and misogynistic vitriol on social media. At the end of the day, I think Christine Brennan, the first question when she asked about whether or not the eye poke was intentional was fine. Nothing wrong with that. And again, when Marina Mabry she started doing the 3 to the dome celebration, which is the Carmelo Anthony 3-point celebration, it is what it is. But USA Today after this basically said, journalists ask questions to see truth. USA Today, our mission is to report in an unbiased manner. We reject the notion the interview perpetuate any narrative other than the player's perspective directly. Christine Brennan is well-regarded advocate for women's sports. I've always said this, you can't go with Christine Brennan, but this is the general. This is the general thing. This is an excerpt from the book. This is scary. And by the way, I mean this when I say this. Nalissa Smith isn't a very good basketball player, but she seems like a very good person. But I'm so happy Nalissa Smith is not on our team anymore because we don't have to deal with Dijonai. And by the way, Nalissa Smith has very much helped us win 2 games. We've gotten 2 huge wins, and Nalissa Smith has been a big, big help with us beating the Wings and beating the Aces. But it says here, Indianapolis Fieldhouse Files Fever beat writer Scott Agnes, Chloe Peterson and I were standing in an otherwise empty catering area waiting for the Fever shoot-around to end the court nearby when Carrington surprises with her appearance between the curtains. Why are you talking shit about Nalissa? She blurted out loudly, referring to her partner, Nalissa Smith, the Fever forward. The question surprised the 3 of us because no one was saying anything personal or derogatory about Smith. Agnes and Peterson had been discussing a bit of Fever strategy, and they had just noticed on the court, and had been asked not to divulge publicly, that Smith was going to be replaced by Temi in Game 2. You're saying she's a bad teammate, Carrington yelled. Then she looked specifically at me. I walked past. I heard you talking shit about Nalissa. It was you out of your mouth. That wasn't the end of it. 30 minutes later, with Agnes, Peterson, and me now back in the court, waiting to interview the players, Smith walked by us, then came back towards the court moments later with her cell phone pressed against her ear. Carrington had left a voicemail for Smith, relating her version of the catering area story, according to the Fever official. Smith strode towards me. Do you have something to say to me? She asked. I'm always happy to talk to you, I replied. She scoffed and walked away. Within minutes, back under the stands in a dark hallway, WNBA Communications Director Sam Taker was standing with Agnes and me. Smith walked by us, looking at me. What did you say? I told her no one, Agnes, Peterson, or I said anything negative about her. You're lying, Smith said to me and walked away. And I mean this. There's a possibility that Dijonai Carrington's side of the story is true. But at the end of the day, I think it's more likely that 3 people, and apparently Agnes, Peterson, and Chloe Brent or Christine Brennan have the exact same story. It's 3v1, but again, there's different. The truth could lie somewhere in between. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. They're about to play Game 2 of the playoffs, and players on different teams. One player on one team is getting into a beef with a journalist, and then they call their girlfriend who's on the other team, and that player gets into the beef with the journalist as well. It's just not a serious sports league, is it? Like, minutes later, Mon said she wanted to hear the entire story, and I was happy to tell it. So she gathered Fever PR director Ryan Stevens, Tager, Agnes, and me around backstage. Each of us taped the conversation. I retold the details, and Agnes added his, which corroborated mine. Peterson was on deadline, so she couldn't be with us, but later confirmed the same details. At the end of our meeting, Mon said Jen, Rosati's son present, is on her way in right now, and I'm going to talk to her about it. I'll see what she wants to do. You may be hearing from us, but I appreciate your honesty. An hour later, a WNBA official who was not in Connecticut called me to say that they had listened to the audio recording for our meeting about the incident, and they were going to follow up with the Sun about Carrington's behaviour. And which probably is why they released a "we call BS" statement, because Dijonai Carrington confronted a journalist and got called out for it, and they didn't take the side of the player. I'm guessing that's where the "we call BS" thing came from. But like, imagine the person you love has never played in WNBA playoffs before, and right before the biggest game of her career so far in a winner go home game, while you've been through it, you called them before the big game to say all that, regardless of who's right and wrong. And like, at the end of the day, look, NaLyssa Smith's not very good at basketball, and the less she played in that game, the better chance Fever had of winning. Like, we can be honest, NaLyssa Smith's a very bad basketball player. NaLyssa Smith doesn't shoot, she doesn't rebound, she doesn't dribble, she doesn't defend, she's not good off the ball, she gets in the way on offense, she doesn't hit free throws, she's a mediocre shot blocker, I guess, and can rebound in space okay. She can't use her left hand, she takes high degree of difficulty shots, she takes low percentage shots, she can't space the floor in any way, she's not a very good cutter, she's not like, defensively she's lost, she can't guard cuts on defense in any way. She's foul prone. Her instincts are poor on defense. But she might score 8 points off kind of tough baskets, and she's a good offensive rebounder, I guess. And offensive rebounding is the most important thing in the WNBA apparently now. But like, it's just a bad look all around, and it's just a bad look for the professionalism of the league. Like, it's a bad look for the professionalism of the league. And at the end of the day, like, there's no guarantee that what Christine Brennan says is fact. There's no guarantee. We've seen Twitter fingers in action. And that's the thing. There's a big difference between having your partner's back and making sure that and then doing this right before the biggest game of her career. Doing this right before the biggest game of her career. And by the way, if Christine Brennan said it, the appropriate action from Dijonai would have been, I don't know, maybe wait till after the playoff series and everyone involved is done, and then call out Christine Brennan, and maybe go to the media about what was said afterwards. Maybe go to PR people about what was said afterwards, and not go on the offensive. I don't know. I don't know what the correct course of action is. But like, let's be real. We saw Dijonai Carrington calling Fever fans every name under the sun, and then quote tweeting Dr. Philip Oliver Holes. Like, she got into a Twitter beef with Dr. Philip Oliver Holes, like a rage bait Twitter account that's apparently a Fever fan. But like, it is what it is. But all around, it's just a bad look. And again, I don't think Christine Brennan's side, or don't think, there's a good chance Christine Brennan's side of the story doesn't have 100% truth. And I mean this, even if Christine Brennan was talking shit about NaLyssa Smith, it is still wasn't dealt with in the right way. The right way would be, instead of confronting her and then going to NaLyssa and then having NaLyssa confront her before the biggest game of her career, the right thing would have been to just go, okay, report it. Report it. Because there's definitely journalists, everyone says dumb shit. Everyone talks shit about players. Like, let's be real, if I was a journalist, I would probably be called out for listing all those things NaLyssa Smith doesn't do or is bad at. But at the end of the day, it's just a bad situation. And by the way, I'm not even knocking NaLyssa Smith for this. I don't know if NaLyssa Smith, like, what she did. She got a voicemail and heard someone was talking shit about her while she was meant to have been focusing for the game. She was probably pissed about being dropped to the bench. All of this. But at the end of the day, lads, it's just a bad look for Dijonai Carrington. But anyway, I'll see you guys.